Hi guys, welcome to the show. I'll be talking about the latest Tom Cruise projects, but first of all this.
You set me up. Now look at you. Such a big shot.
A better person would feel bad about LaGuardia's death, but the truth is it solved all my problems.
I shot the wrong person in that trailer.
My father coming here, everything we worked for, everything we built, it'll be over. Whatever you think happened, it was 10 times worse.
All my life I thought I needed you. It was the other way around.
Don't let the wolf in the gate, Abby.
Okay, so a film I wanted to see in the cinema but completely missed for whatever reasons was Jack Reacher, starring Tom Cruise. Once again, the trailer made the film seem like an action-packed adventure, but it's not. It's more of an action drama with a mystery element, since the character of Jack Reacher is an investigator. The acting is really good, the cast is good, the production values are high, and if you've never read a Jack Reacher novel like myself, the character is actually quite fascinating. This particular film is based on one shot, and all the novels are written by one man called Lee Childs, who makes a cameo in the film. See if you can spot him. I would give this film an 8 out of 10, a strong 8 out of 10. There are some bits that dragged on a little bit, and I have a funny feeling, from what I've read about Jack Reacher, there are more intricacies to his character that could have been brought out in the film to make him even more fascinating, but that's a small thing. I expect to see more of the books covered, more adaptations. Hopefully that will happen. And that's Jack Reacher.
He doesn't care about the law. He only cares about what's right. He knows what I did. You can't protect me. No one can.
Don't move.
My hand!
Or you shouldn't play with guns.
Jack Reacher.
This was a bad idea.
Tom Cruise in Oblivion is still in the cinema. If you're thinking about watching it, I would advise you to see it on the big screen because it is actually good. However, let me review it properly for you. What it is not is an action film, and it's not science fantasy either. It's not Starship Troopers or Star Wars. In fact, forget the trailer and think of a minimalist science fiction story with a few characters and an emerging plot that leads to a twist. Now, some of the comparisons that have been made, I think were, the marketing people compared it to The Matrix and something else I can't remember off the top of my head. However, I would actually compare it to The Outer Limits or The Twilight Zone. It's that kind of mystery orientated story where something has happened and that's interesting enough, but there's a piece of missing information that's going to turn the story on its head, and Oblivion has that. The only problem is, when you do find out what the twist is in the narrative, it's not potent enough. Without giving too much away, the villain, if you can call it that, could have a really fascinating backstory to the events that have led to where they have led, but they don't explore it. So for me, they could have made the earlier narrative a little bit shorter and then given some time to explaining who the and what the villain is, where it came from, blah blah blah. if they had done that, it might have actually taken the story into kind of like 2001 territory. Not in narrative, but in making a science fiction film seem more worthwhile. If you think of all the science fiction films in existence, Oblivion let itself down there. As they say, you can have a great film from beginning to almost end, and then the ending can ruin a film. I'm not saying that it's ruined, but they could have done better. So I personally would give it a strong 6 out of 10. It's visually stunning, the acting is fine, the story is okay, and I really like the music as well. I think it was a chill wave soundtrack. But yeah, check it out.
You need to know what happened.
Who are you?
In this war,
I want mankind to survive. This is the only way.
So Tom Cruise is 50 and showing no signs of slowing down. If anything, he stepped into 5th gear rather than going into cruise control. Now there are a lot of projects associated with Tom Cruise. I don't know which ones are true and which ones are false. However, with the untimely passing of Tony Scott, it doesn't really look like that Top Gun 2 is going to happen, unfortunately. Maybe Jerry Bruckheimer will get together with Tom and they'll have a conversation and something will come of it, hopefully. Further projects, future projects even, All You Need Is Kill, which I think is in post-production at the moment. Tom plays a Lieutenant Colonel Bill Cage who is part of an army fighting aliens. He gets caught in a time loop and has to reenact the last battle of the war over and over again. His strategy and tactics and killing technique getting better each time he relives the day. Beyond that, there are rumours that he will play Napoleon Solo in a big remake of The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is supposed to be directed by Guy Ritchie, which will be very interesting. My favourite character was always Ilya Kuryakin, and who is supposed to be playing him? Armie Hammer. Armie Hammer from The Lone Ranger is supposed to be playing him. I don't know. On paper, these things sometimes sound ridiculous, but it could work. He's also rumoured to be playing Van Helsing in a Rupert Sanders directed film. I don't know who Rupert Sanders is, I'm just giving you the information. And of course, Mission Impossible 5, which is to be directed by Christopher McQuarrie, who I also do not know. I'm not much of a nerd at the moment, I need to go and do more research, but you can check these guys out. So that's Christopher McQuarrie, Rupert Sanders, and you know who Guy Ritchie is. If you don't know who Guy Ritchie is, man, you're in the wrong place, man. If you don't know who Guy Ritchie is, you need to, I don't know.